A judge in Utah is facing backlash for comments he made as he sentenced a man convicted of sexually exploiting children. So Aidan Hoffman, pictured here, 22, was sentenced last week after pleading guilty to 2 felony charges of sexual exploitation of a minor. According to court documents, Hoffman possessed and distributed multiple images of child sexual abuse material. Now, during his sentencing hearing, however, Judge Don Torgerson had decided to be lenient. Very, very lenient. In fact, he twice cited Hoffman's privilege as he ultimately decided not to require him to serve any additional jail time or to even pay a fine. Wait, what? Huh? So why don't we get into the details here? Okay, so first, the charges against Hoffman. He was charged last August in 7th District Court with multiple felony counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. He actually spent about 4 months in jail before getting out in December with conditions. Conditions. Like, oh, you can't leave the state. Okay, so now he is from Maine. Okay, and now is living in Utah. Okay, so he's from Maine and whatever. Okay, so now Hoffman ended up pleading guilty to 2 felonies, but 10 others were dropped. Why? Why? During his sentencing, prosecutors asked for prison time for Hoffman, arguing that it would send a clear message about the severity of his crimes. Yes, his crimes were very, very severe. But Judge Torgerson said, you know what? No, I'm not feeling it. Privilege, right? What privilege? Hoffman was then given suspended prison sentences, probation for 4 years, and has to register as a sex offender. That's it. That's what he got. 4 years and on the sex offender registry. Wow. Now, during the hearing, the judge referred to the time that Hoffman had already spent in jail, saying that 112 days is a lot of jail time. No kidding. It's a lot of jail time for someone of your age who comes from some level of privilege. Like, I don't know about you, but I think privilege should not matter when it comes to sentencing. In fact, the level of privilege this young man had received should make it so that it's more important to sentence him to the full amount in relation to the crimes. Okay? Yes, I'm about fairness, right? He ruined children's lives. And he should be in jail for a very, very long time. But of course, the privilege that he has is the fact that he is young, white, and male. What, you think they'd let a black person off who did the same crime? You know, they go, oh, what privilege. No, of course they wouldn't. Now, of course, the Grand County Attorney Stephen Stocks, he was irate over this, and of course for good reason. Let me read his quote. He said, something like this shocked my conscience so much that I feel failing to act or failing to speak out wouldn't be doing a justice or service to those kids out there. Yeah, and that's it. He added that the social or economic status should not play a role in determining the sentence of a defendant or an offender. Quote, we should look at defendants and the actions that they've done and not make it lesser because of their affluent status or their privilege. The investigator spent more time likely investigating this case than the defendant spent in jail. Yes, and again, for targeting children. Children! Look, I know it's Utah, but what are you doing? What are you doing in that state? I mean, this is almost worse than the affluenza judge. Or what about the guy who raped a woman behind a dumpster and then got away with it? You know, because of his privilege. What is it with judges and young white men who do these horrific crimes? I like what? They care so little about the victims. Okay, these judges do, and care so much about the perpetrators and their lives. But what about the lives of these kids? What about them? They are forever scarred by this predator, and he gets no additional jail time? Really? 112 days? That's it? There's people who've smoked a joint that have received more prison time than a child rapist. And when that happens, you know the justice system is absolutely freaking broken. Okay? And it's not just, by the way, Stocks who spoke out against this. Surprisingly, you've got Republicans, which, again, in it's Utah. So you've got Republicans like House Speaker Mike Schultz, who posted on social media on Saturday, calling on Torgerson to resign. Quote, "This is deeply troubling and indicative of a broader pattern within the judiciary. Such decisions not only fail to deliver justice for victims, in this case, children, but also erode public confidence in the legal system. Judge Torgerson's comments and decision are a failure of justice and cannot be ignored. He must resign. He should not be able to continue sitting on the bench and serving the people of this great state." I mean, I'm going to have to disagree with it being a great state. They're allowing stuff like this to happen, but I get the sentiment. Carrie Ann Lisenby, another Republican who's running for House Majority Leader, wrote this on social media, quote, "This is terrible." Representative Tyler Clancy commented on her post, responding, "Absolutely shocking and a horrible message sent to victims of child sex abuse." Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And again, these people, say that, oh, we want to protect the children. But then you have judges like this that are like, well, actually, no, let's protect the privileged guy. The privileged white guy. Oh, great. Yeah. Look, it is good to see people pissed off about it, especially Republicans, but what will they actually do in this situation? Probably nothing. And it's not knocking them, okay, specifically. I mean, what can they actually do to change this? I don't know. That said, there is a little bit of hopium here, okay? Hoffman, as I mentioned, he is from Maine. And it appears that he is also facing some trouble over this in Maine. He's actually been charged with 3 Class C felonies for possession of sexually explicit material relating to a child under age 12. Oh, that case happens to be unresolved currently. So, I don't know, perhaps there, it is very possible that we could end up seeing some justice after all. But, look, here's the thing. It's very clear that this young man is a predator. He should not be free to roam the streets. And perhaps, maybe the justice system ought to actually do what it's supposed to do and not only dispense a little justice for the victims, but also to protect society at large from a very obvious predator. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.